Hey guys, this is Nuke. Hey, for this poop report, I figured, hey, I roast everybody else, I might as well roast myself, right? So I figured I'd start when I was just a youngster. So when I came out the womb, I was if you think I'm a nightmare now, I came out the womb as a nightmare. So just to kind of give you an idea, I have two older sisters. One is about a year and a half older. The other one's about a year and a half older than her. And I was the baby. I was the only boy, and trust me, they they caused havoc in my life from, you know, they probably made me dress up as a girl. Hell, I don't know. I can't remember. But they caused havoc for me. So I caused havoc for them too. So keep in mind, if I control you guys, I control myself. Anyway, there was this one time. I don't know. I was like 8 years old. I don't know. You know, the age when you go from religion where you're accountable. Well, anyway, so they had this sleepover, right? And I've been a hellion my whole life. I mean, I have a big heart, but still a hellion, still a troll from the womb. But anyway, they had a sleepover, right? So they had a sleepover, and I don't know what they were doing, but they they had left a big bowl of popcorn unguarded downstairs. It was sitting on the pool table. It was like I think it was a big bowl, like one of those Halloween bowls you sit out, people sit out on their porch when they want to be lazy as shit and they want the kids to just grab their own candy. Well, anyway, it's a big old bowl of popcorn, like a big motherfucking bowl. It reminded me of a big, thick, fat Ignat booty. So it was a big Ignat bowl of popcorn. Well, anyway, they went upstairs. I don't know what the hell they were doing, but I was downstairs, left unattended. Like, why would you leave a stray dog left unattended that isn't housebroken? Anyway, so they left the popcorn. They were sitting on top of the pool table. I didn't even take the popcorn bowl off the pool table. What I did is I climbed up on that pool table, right? And I'm not even kidding. I pulled out my pants. I sat in that popcorn where I felt the kernels against my backside. Hell, even a kernel might have went up my crap. Who knows? Anyway, man, I don't know what I ate that day, but good gosh, my tummy was hurt. And I thought to myself, man, it's already got butter flavor. Might as well add a little aroma and a little extra flavor to that popcorn. So what I did is I sat fully in that popcorn and I let this big, roaring from the bottom of my tummy fart. It just seemed like it lasted forever. I mean, like, it seemed like it lasted forever. Anyway, after I got done, I got up. Obviously, I had to dust some popcorn off my butt, but we can't leave anything. We don't waste things in that house. I mean, keep in mind, we were in a very strict household where you don't waste food. So, of course, I put the popcorn back in the bowl. And then, of course, I pulled up my pants, and there was a couch down there. I used to do these little Spider-Man flips. I would watch shows, and I would go, do a hand plant on the edge of the sofa where I'd flip and it would land on my backside on the couch. Well, anyway, I went and go sat on the couch, and pretty soon, my two older sisters came trooping down. Of course, they had a big spend the night over. So there was a bunch of girls. I had to impress them with my popcorn pleasantries. So I just sat on the couch, and I watched them enjoy the popcorn. Now, keep in mind, I was laughing hysterically, and I probably will go to hell, but boy, I had a hoot of a good time. Just watching their faces as they enjoyed every single morsel of popcorn. And, of course, no one left without, so everybody had their dose of popcorn. Now, that's story number one. Now, listen, I got a bunch of stories when I was a kid, but I only remember some of them, so I will highlight the best ones. Now, the next thing, look, as little kids, when you see that little crumb snatcher, because kids, look, at the end of the day, look, I get it. You love them, you adore them, but they're crumb snatchers. They steal all your crumbs from your table. They cost you money. Well, I was a crumb snatcher myself. And you know how some crumb snatchers, they're snotty nosed, they pick their nose, and they find it edible and enjoyable to eat. Well, I was just never one of those ones. I was a picker and a flicker. And what that means is I would pick my nose as I would walk down the hallway, and once I got the nice gooey one on the edge of my finger, I would just flip it with my finger and it would stick to the wall. Now, sometimes it'd be extra sticky in my finger, and I'd have to flicker 3 or 4 times. But at the end result, it always landed on the wall with a nice, satisfactory sound, like a plop, anyway. Now keep in mind, obviously after a while they spilled up, And like people were saying, including my parents, what is all this over the walls? Who is flicking their boogers or burgers, however you want to say it? Look, of course it wasn't me. I would never do such a dastardly deed. But I wasn't a picker and an eater. I was a picker and a flicker. And so keep in mind, whether it was snacks for later, because I wouldn't eat them, but maybe somebody else would, but it was definitely for posterity and for mementos for people to remember me by. So I was definitely a picker and a flicker. And look, I mean, to this day, if I'm outside and I'm enjoying the weather, why not stick my finger up my nose, find something nice, and pick it and flick it? So that's story number 2. I have a bunch of them. Now, none of these stories are made up. These are actually true. I mean, later on I can make up some ones if you'd like, but no, these are all true. Now, the next story, look, I admit, I was a troll from the womb. Now, look, there was this kid in this neighborhood. His name, look, and I shouldn't say his last name, but his name was Nathan. Now, what I want you to picture the biggest dork in the world. Not me, of course. I was just a troll and a hellion. Pick the biggest dork in the world. He had curly brown hair. Like if you can imagine Orphan Annie, that she just got a perm, that was Nathan. He had curly brown hair, and he had these thick, so back, keep in mind, I was born in the early 70s. Back then, they didn't have these stylish glasses. They had these thick Coke bottle glasses, and so he had that curly brown hair, thick glasses where it's like, dude, I don't even know if you can see at all. But anyway, he could see. But his name was Nathan, and he was a dork. In fact, the first time I remember meeting him, and this was obviously a memorable moment of my life, he had like these bell-bottom, they weren't jeans, they were like, I don't know, like if you can imagine a tablecloth from Mel's Diner, I don't know. It was like checkered, but it wasn't red and white checkers. It was like a flannel checkered pants, and like some, I don't know, some like Coca-Cola t-shirt. Couldn't have been, it might not have been Coca-Cola, but it was similar. Anyway, so this kid, man, look, honestly, look, he was a cool kid, I guess. I mean, I did, you know, it's kind of like a lack of options. You know, when you go to the store and you want to pick up your favorite meal and it's not there and you only have a few other options. Well, he was kind of a lack of options, but go figure why I have many friends. Who knows? Maybe my personalities. Anyway, so one day, he came over to my house, right? And look, who am I to not be that good, proper host? Well, what I did is I made a pitcher of lemonade. Now, keep in mind, I was young, I was dumb, I was full of, well, obviously not cum, because what I did is I actually peed in the lemonade. Now, keep in mind, that's horrible. You should never do that. However, I did pee in the lemonade, and when I got him his glass of lemonade, he said it tasted funny. And listen, I was raised in a very religious household where we do not waste anything. And I flat out told him, I said, look, we don't waste things in our house. You came over for some Kool-Aid, you're going to drink that damn Kool-Aid. Now, of course, look, at the end of the day, I'm an innocent person. I was just trying to be a proper host, and he looked like he was thirsty, so I made sure he had something to drink. Now, look, that's just one of my other episodes. Now, keep in mind, these are all true stories. Later on, I'll be glad to make some stuff up, and later on, if you want to hear about my love life, oh my God, what an epic shit show. Now, keep in mind, for those of you that are with a significant other, you guys are success stories. Now, this is where I'll tell you on that, and then we'll go on to the next subject. I have 100% fail rate. I'm a single motherfucker. What that means is I have failed every time in my entire life. So I have 100% fail rate at relationships. That means I am a loser. Now keep in mind, if you're single also, guess what? You're also a fucking loser. So there's that. Now the next story. Because we all know Jewel, the pretty girl on VIP Spades that actually has a pecker. She's kind of like Norman Bates, or if you want to look at it as Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs, where, you know, puts the lotion on the skin or gets the hose again. Look, here, Jewel is a wonderful person that has a bigger pecker than I do. She definitely lives in her mama's basement. However, she seems to have this hard on for all my alts that I apparently have right now. Now listen, right now, I don't have any alts. I wish I did. But back in the day, and I have people on VIP to verify this, oh, I had all kind of alts. I had alts, and looking, it was so bad at the point, because remember, I only have one leg, you know, peg leg, fucking Nuke. Hey, if I would have known about the porn star parking opportunities, I would have hacked my leg off sooner. But anyway, so Jewel thinks I have all these alts. Well, back in the day, I did. I got muted so damn much, and I just like to talk. Obviously, you guys figured that out on your own. But so what I would do is I had all these iPads. I had these mini iPads, and I would have all kind of alts. Now I only remember some of the names, but they weren't used for cheating. I'm just too good at spades, and I'm too competitive. Why would I cheat when I'm amazing already? And in my mind, hey, I am one of the best, so let's just call it what it is. However, I do have some alts. Not anymore, but I did. One of them was Big Ed, and goddamn, he loved his mama's meatloaf. Now, keep in mind, he probably did live in his mama's basement, but his mama made a hell of a motherfucking meatloaf, and her name was Big Mama. Now, keep in mind, at the time, I was not Big Mama. I was just Big Ed. However, Kiyaki or Kiyuki, however you want to call it, she was actually Big Mama. She was Big Mama and I was Big Ed, and goddamn, she made a fine motherfucking meatloaf. So that was one of my alts was Big Ed. And sure, when I get on and I would mess with everybody, I sure would. But it wasn't to cheat, it was to troll because I would get muted so damn much, so I would just pull out another character. Now, the next character I had, an alt, was Poison Ivy. Now, keep in mind, I was smarter than all you average bears. I just didn't find one picture. No, I did my homework. And now, keep in mind, I'm sure this is probably illegal now, but I can't even remember whose image I used. I went on a Facebook hunt, and I found this pretty motherfucker, but she looked like the girl next door. I didn't just take one picture. I took like 10, 12 of her pictures, and I made sure this profile looked so legit. Well, keep in mind, her name was Poison Ivy on spades. Boy, she would drag scrubs across the finish line. In fact, one of our well-known, and this was back obviously before Goose, one of our well-known members who is actually the richest, and congrats again, Bobby, for that. No, he actually parted me at one time, and finally one day, and it was pretty innocent, but look, all guys, look, even me, we like a pretty girl. Well, no, he was in my inbox, and he said something. I said, look, dude, I actually have a dick. I'm actually a dude. But so I was always real. It wasn't a scam. It was just a troll. And so what I would do, people like Will K., people that were one-dimensional, no, of course they would want to part Poison Ivy. She was one sexy VIP girl. Well, anyway, what I would do is I would drag these scrubs kicking and screaming across the finish line because they couldn't play with worth a fuck. Well, here Nuke always can play with worth a fuck, but I was Poison Ivy, so I would drag these motherfuckers kicking and screaming across the finish line, and then I would trash them on Global, how horrible they were, and they were lucky we won because I was Poison Ivy and I was amazing. Keep in mind, I don't know what it is about men, but boy, they sure like a woman that's going to whip that ass and kick them into shape. Now, keep in mind, now Poison Ivy didn't write this book, but Nuke, now keep in mind, this book has been in the works for years. It's called Crack the Whip. Now, keep in mind, it's a fictional book, but Chapter 3 talks about when I come home from a hard day at work, and I open that front door, all I should be able to do is put my hand to my ear and hear that plate hitting the table. Now, that is in my book, chapter 3, chapter 7, I forget, but it's entitled Crack That Whip, Get Her in Shape. Well, keep in mind, as Poison Ivy, boy, these guys must not, now keep in mind, Bobby, not you, because you weren't submissive. But some of these guys, they obviously wanted Poison Ivy to crack the whip, because as soon as I commanded, boy, they jumped like a motherfucker. Now, keep in mind, back in the day, I want to give a shout out to Breezy. Breezy was my sidekick. Oh, no, not Breezy. Actually, Jade. Jade was my sidekick, and I think she played the part. I forgot what her character's name, but she was a fine black gentleman. Now, keep in mind, no racism here, but she was a black gentleman. And then keep in mind what she did is she played the guy, I played the girl, and it's amazing, boy, I sure fit in. And keep in mind, I didn't put on a little dress. I mean, I was willing to if it came with like a free set of steak knives, but there was no free dress, so I didn't do that. But no, actually, that was back in the day when me, Cam, actually Breezy for a while, obviously Kiyaki, and oh my gosh, forgot his name. He was such a cool troll. The one that would be Captain Savaho. I don't know why his name is escaping me right now. But no, we used to troll like a motherfucker. But no, my alts were mainly all used for trolling. Now, keep in mind also another fine story about another one of my alts. Now, keep in mind, I had always, now the first time I watched the movie Napoleon Dynamite, I was like, what is this shit I'm watching? But then the more you watch it, the more exciting and amazing it gets. So what I did is I made an alt called Kid Dynamite. Now keep in mind, what I did, I was like a low level. I was on global. You know, go figure, a troll being on global as Kid Dynamite. One way I just bided my time. And our favorite female, that's the most prettiest on VIP spades, good old Lucy, she couldn't help but get on my post. And now keep in mind, I was Kid Dynamite. So what I was doing is I was talking major trash on how I would kick her butt. And keep in mind, she thinks everybody cheats. If they can beat her, we must all cheat. Well, anyway, so she thought Kid Dynamite would not be able to handle her and whoever. I don't even remember who she partnered. But I actually, and it was one of Kiaki's alts. Yes, Kiaki had an alt. But I said, hey, pardon me on this one. So me and Kiaki, or however you want to say your name, young lady, Laura Gold. Keep in mind, that's another story. Laura Gold was going to be in the WWE, but something happened. There'll be another story for another time. But anyway, she partnered me, and we played against Lucy as Kid Dynamite. Again, okay, I used it not to play a game, go figure. But we kicked the ever-living shit out of Lucy because she thought there was no way a brand new player could kick that ass. Oh, no, we kicked that ass, and she probably went to bed with a headache and her ass hurting. So that's that story on my alts. And keep in mind, I had so many others, but it was all for trolling because I got muted so much and I just love to talk. So, of course, I had to create an alt to talk because I was always muted. I mean, why would you mute me? I'm the nicest guy in the world. Okay, so that's all that. And keep in mind, I'll have other stories to tell to roast myself. But again, yes, I have one leg, a small pecker. What else? Oh, yeah, I only have one leg. I'm a peg leg, and I have a stump. And shit, honestly, guys, if I would have known about the parking opportunities and, you know, because it is porn star parking. I mean, you're kind of front row. So if I would have known about that years ago, oh, I would have hacked it off years ago. I mean, the parking opportunities are amazing. Now, listen, guys, I did my damnedest. But went out to Lowe's. You know, it's kind of like a Home Depot in Colorado. I bought me, not just a small box, not a small bottle. I bought me a case of Miracle motherfucking Grow. Look, I put it all over my stump. That motherfucker would not grow back. I went to Lowe's. I was like, hey, listen, this isn't working. I would like a refund. And they basically said, get fucked. It's not made for small pecker, one-legged motherfuckers. So obviously Miracle Grow didn't work. So look, that's my trolling myself for today. So keep in mind, guys, you have no ammunition. I truly give no fucks. And oh, here, Mark, this is for you. To be a troll, to be a successful troll, you can't have those feelings, my brother. Now listen, gay love, of course. Like later on, if you come to Colorado, we can fuck each other in the asses if you want. I'm not even gay, but if it comes with like free stuff, hey, I'm willing to learn. So keep in mind, gay love for you always. But to be a true troll, you can't give a fuck, my brother. You gotta be okay with what anybody says and deal with the consequences. There's consequences in life, all good and bad. Oh, and another thing, guys, when your partner goes one before you, don't kneel and think we can magically cover it. Probably isn't going to work out. Just a special love gesture for my good friend Lydia. And Lydia's a cool girl, and she was my guest last time. Now, all my personalities on this episode are all my guests. Now, last but not least, well, not even last, let's talk about what's been going on global this week. So on global this week, every motherfucking day, people are being snowflakes, are being dramatic. They don't know what the fuck's going on. You have 24 hours to stop being my motherfucking friend or else. My God, I have never, in 1 week or 1 day, or for that matter, I've never seen so many people bitch, moan, complain, cry on global that I have this week. Now, keep in mind, I'm hardly ever there. Maybe this is like daily lives of VIP nobodies. Anyway, but these two people are somebodies. So we have good, and keep in mind, look, I'm an impartial observer. This means I can get away with anything because I'm just reporting the news. We have Unchained, which, bitch, you might be chained, but I don't know. You seem pretty cool, but you might be chained. But we're talking about Unchained, and then we have Ruby, motherfucking Goddess. It's like, you know, when they about to have that fight in the boxing ring, and they say, we're ready to rumble. Anyway, we have Ruby Goddess, and we have Unchained in one corner. They're going at it like two motherfuckers in a wool sock that can't even get the fuck out. But I don't know what the fuck's going on, but this is what I offer. I invite you both to be guests on my podcast. Now listen, again, I'm an impartial observer. I will not take sides. You guys can duke it out. You can call each other hoes, sluts, saints, whatever you want to do. But this week in Global, it's been crazy. People's dads beating each other's dads up. Mamas fighting mamas. Little crumb snatchers stealing bags of Cheetos. Look, we're not going to put up with it. This is all about love. BIP, we all love each other. We're all here to support each other. But I don't know what the fuck happened with Ruby Goddess and Unchained, but good Lord, and 3 motherfucking popsicle sticks. I don't know what's going on, ladies, but remember, when we start talking about 3rd grade, you have 24 hours to unfriend this person or we are done. And then Unchained, keep in mind, girl, I haven't read everything, so I hardly look at anything, to be honest with you. I talk too damn much and type too much to actually even read anything. And my reading comprehension level is probably at a 1st grade level. But girls, ladies, women, pillars of the motherfucking community, I don't know what your gripe is, but what you need to do is you need to bring it to the stage I'm setting for you. I'm setting the stage where you guys can get your gripes out, and you can do it passionately. You can do it where you have empathy for the other person. There's no judgment. Oh, and by the way, for people that think I'm racist, I hate all you motherfuckers equally 100%. Now, keep in mind, I may hate some more than others. I might love some more than others, but at the end of the day, I hate you all equally, whether you're white, whether you're black, whether you're green, yellow, or pink, whether you take it up the ass, whether you flip a coin and say balls across the nose one day and pussy pie the next. Look, at the end of the day, I don't discriminate. I hate you all. Now, this is what I offer. Again, so we all on the same page. I offer you guys to be both contestants on The Price is Right. I mean, basically, both contestants or guests on my show. Again, I will have a list of questions, and the floor will be yours. I will just be like that referee, and I'll be that announcer that says, "Are you ready to rumble?" And keep in mind, guys, this is my wrap-up for today. But look, there's been so many alts on Global lately, I don't know what's going on. But gosh damn, guys, you were so obvious. Oh, and here's to you, Lucy. Let me know your address. I'll send you a case of whiskey, because damn girl, I know you're trying to do your best to be the pillar of your local community. But goddamn girl, drink up. Oh, and by the way, chiclets do make a great smile. So keep in mind, if those dentures are failing, look, go get you a box of chiclets. Now, whether they're white, whether they're colored, just put them in your gums. Gosh damn, none of us will be able to tell the difference. A chiclet smile goes a long way. Now remember, you all can, anytime you want, challenge me head to head on my podcast. This is what I wish you. I wish you much luck. And when the swelling goes down, the pain will subside. This is Nuke, and I'm out. And I can't wait till the next weekly poop report. Remember, get in my index like a couple other people already have, because we got some reports lined up. And boy, good Lord, you think it's fun now? It's going to get even funner. And this is Nuke, and I will see you guys next time.